You can't save your friends. I remember when I first found self improvement in like 2021. At the time, I was already going to the gym for like 3 years, but I was still like struggling mentally, socially, and just like emotionally. I was like that. Yeah, I had a bit of muscle in my frame, but I was always that like that weak. I was always like that like little weak feminine guy who could like never take banter seriously. So when I first found self improvement in 2021, I first heard the phrase no fap. I learned about cold showers, how you shouldn't play video games, how junk food is making you feel like shit, all this crap, all like the good habits and bad habits, etc. How you shouldn't drink alcohol. And the first habit which I took action on, the first habit which motivated me, like, oh, I don't have to do much, I just don't have to do this. It was no fap. All I had to do was not touch my pee pee. My thought process was, oh, I'd become better than like 50% of guys, because most guys actually, yeah, they touch their pee pee, whether in a relationship or not, they still touch their pee pee nearly like every single day. Most people are addicted to fapping. So I said to myself at that time, right now I have shit confidence. I can't look a girl in the eye. I constantly feel insecure and have like these bad, like brainwashing, anxious thoughts when I just like walk into the supermarket. So I said to myself, what if I just don't touch my pee pee? I went through a long period of time of being on NoFap, and every single day that went by, I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah, I started to feel a bit better about myself. The fact that I wasn't feeling these feelings of guilt, shame, regret as often as I once did, I started to feel good. So, back to the start of the video. At the time, I thought the smart thing for me to do was to save my friends. I felt so happy with the progress I made. I wanted my friends to hop on NoFap. I was texting them in our big Snapchat group chat with like 10 of us. It was like our NBA fantasy group chat, like our little own NBA fantasy league. We'd always like talk in this chat. And I was telling them, boys, stop touching your pee pee. Do NoFap. And this was so stupid of me. I didn't understand that you can't really change your friends. You can't really try convince them to improve themselves, to become better, to not do this and do this instead. I didn't really understand that. So what would happen was they'd kind of take the piss out of me, which I don't blame them. It is kind of weird when not a random, but like one of your friends is telling you not touch your PB, right? It's kind of weird. But I was telling them how like, oh, no, you get boosted confidence. You can do anything. You feel so good about yourself. You have more energy. You can start going to the gym more often, all this good stuff. I remember there was one friend who was like, oh, this seems pretty cool. I might follow with it. So out of like 10 guys, there was one guy who like maybe thought about it, but the rest just like took the piss out of me. And the one guy who was maybe thinking about it, he couldn't stay consistent. He just fell back into his old ways, because you always want to follow the pack. In a friendship group, you always want to stay the same. You don't want to be different. Not saying that I was different to them, but I just wanted to improve myself. I wanted to save them because I knew the benefits I was getting. I'd waste so much time and energy trying to save my friends. And the brutal truth is, quite frankly, you can't. And I really don't want you to make the same mistake I made with wasting hours on end, all this like mental capacity, trying to convince them to do this, trying to convince them to sell their PS5, trying to convince them to not go out this weekend and to grind instead. I was a bit of a control freak. I just felt like I had made so much progress, and I wanted to save them, because when I'd look at my friends, I would see younger Adrian from like literally like only 6 months ago. The fact that I was growing, the fact that I was changing, not that I was looking down on them and thinking I'm better than them. No, we're all equal. It's just that I knew I could make them become even better. Because I knew, this is just, let's be real, like, we all feel like shit when we're playing video games on a weekend, right? Like, come on. You'd rather be outside socializing than being on your console at 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. I was that guy who was playing video games, and I didn't like that. And I knew deep down my friends didn't like that. So I wanted to help change them, because I knew video games isn't making you feel that fulfilled. To become better, you got to start to erase and eliminate these bad habits, because that's when, yeah, you become pretty bored, but you kind of become forced to start doing the good stuff. I'd tell all my friends, stop fapping, stop playing video games. And they just thought of it as, oh no, 1 hour video games is fine. Fapping's fine every now and then. It helps me relax. There's proven studies. It's healthy. That's not the point. That wasn't the main message I was trying to give to them. It's the fact that you want to... This video is kind of going all over the place. I hope this makes sense. It was the fact that I was trying to teach them and tell them that the more you can start to eliminate the bad stuff, yeah, you might become a little bit bored. But over time, the more you can say to yourself, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do this instead, your life honestly just goes in an upwards trajectory. The unfortunate reality is not only that you can't save your friends, but your friends need to go through their own trials and tribulations to improve themselves. Because I look back now, and when I was younger, when I was a bit of a low testosterone, insecure wimp, when my dad was to tell me, oh, Adrian, start doing this to going for runs to improve your ability to outrun everyone in your basketball games. Did I listen to him? No. Like, fuck no. I didn't listen to my own dad, so what makes me think my friends are going to listen to me? When my mum was to tell me, oh, study, read this book, it's going to help you for great. Did I listen to her? No. We are also arrogant and have like such big egos, and like it's almost like the only person when you're at like a low level of like self-awareness, the only person you listen to is yourself. And I'm not saying never ever listen to yourself, like always, yeah, trust your gut. Like, bro, trust your gut. Your gut instinct is one of your best instincts. But you're kind of holding yourself back. You're not a willing learner. The more I started to listen to others, the more I started to leave my ego at the door and start to learn off one another, it's almost like my progress just started to like 10x. Every single month I was becoming a new version of myself. I was looking at myself the previous month and I was looking at like, bro, he spoke like an idiot. He moved like an idiot. He wasn't lifting weights right. Every single month, the more I started to be willing to learn off one another, my progress 10x. Relating this back to how you can't change your friends, well, when I'm telling you I wasted hours in these Snapchat group chats, like hours arguing, debating about how no fap's good, about how not playing video games is good, about how you should go to the gym. I wasted days, weeks, months arguing. And that was just holding me back. That was just holding my own potential back. You can't save your friends. You can try maybe for one day, but like, do you really think they're going to watch these types of videos like you? Do you really think they're going to try educate themselves in their spare time when they have their phone right beside them and like Instagram can just scroll? When they have their console on the other side of their room and they can just play NBA 2K all night? You're putting in the work. You're educating yourself. You're watching these like good quality self-improvement videos to try to become better. You're on the right path. You're doing what's right. And I'm not saying like cut off your friends. No, that's not what this video is about. That's not what this video is about. I'm not saying being a prick to your friends because they don't want to improve themselves. No. They're still your friends. Just don't try change them, because that's only going to negatively impact your relationships like it did for me. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own journey, and the more you can focus on the internal, the external, the results will speak for themselves. The more you can improve yourself, that actually might motivate your friends more than if you would actually try telling them to do something. The more they can see what you've done, the more they can see the body you've built, the business you've made, that actually might motivate and inspire them even more. So don't tell them this is right, this is wrong. Be quiet. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. Stop trying to prove that you're better than them and wanting this validation. Like, oh, I'm on a 20-day no-fap streak. Boys, I saw my PS5. I sold it. I don't need it. I'm cool with it. That's not what this is about. Focus on your own journey, and the results will speak for themselves. I hope this video motivated and inspired you. I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching calls. It'll be the first link in the description. Other than that, click the subscribe button if you want to see more of these videos on your homepage, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.